will call the meeting of the Simsbury Planning Commission to order. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So since we have two absences, Marcus and Diane will be seated as regular commissioners tonight. So thank you both. Bill, can you share your flag?
Let's see if I can do that. Share.
I think one time I brought a mini flag, but I don't. Perfect. So all that can rise, please do so, and we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. All right. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
All right. All right. So, Bill, do you want to walk us through the minutes?
Absolutely. Okay. Hopefully everyone had a chance to look at the minutes from our October 25th, 2022 meeting. Anyone have any comments on page 1, which I think goes from lines 1 to 46? Page 2, lines 47 through 92. And page 3, lines 93 through 123.
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Hearing no comments, I move to accept the minutes of the Planning Commission meeting 10/20 on October 25th, right? 2022 as submitted.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. The motion passes unanimously. Thank you. And good job, Amanda. She does a great job with the minutes.
Thank you very much. I try to be very concise and quick.
Yeah, no, it's great because it really less is more.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's really, really well done.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
So Aaron, I don't know if you saw, but Craig just joined.
He did.
Oh, hi, Craig.
Hi, sorry I'm late, folks.
No problem. Welcome. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks. You too, everybody.
So we were able to seat Marcus and Diane, Craig, but yeah, so thank you. Yeah,
sure.
Glad you're here. So George, there's no public hearing, no new business. Any update with the POCD?
Yeah, so I do have an update. Obviously, early last week or 10 days ago, we pushed or maybe it's about a week, we pushed the POCD survey out to via some social network and press release, and to date we've received just about 180 surveys to date. Wow. Which good, okay, and usually every 10 days or so we'll re-push it out. We'll resend our emails out to our mailing list, to our chamber mailing list, to the town mailing list. So I feel good about that. I feel good about that start, and we'll get through the holiday here, and then we've got another full 4 weeks to have folks complete that. So again, this works by word of mouth. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors, your own social networks and your hobby networks and those kinds of things. All that helps. All that accumulates. So that's on the survey. Glenn is going to begin some kind of independent internal stakeholder meetings. I like to meet with town staff first to talk about community facilities and do those kinds of things, and then we'll begin to meet, or at least present, kind of where we are and what the plan is to the zoning commission. He's going to do that with Aaron on December 5th. I have asked for an agenda item for the Board of Selectmen for excuse me, December 5th, Board of Selectmen on December 12th. Again, just like a little quick 5-minute, this is what we're doing. This is what the plan is. This is going to be the work of the Planning Commission over the next, 6 months. So we'll begin to do that. We are looking at a late January full public meeting. And we're just having discussions and with Glenn about whether that's public, whether that's hybrid, and we're just going to we'll make that decision in the coming weeks. So I feel good, and Glenn is kind of working on background and data collection. We're working on some mapping issues as well with some staff help. So I feel good about that start.
Awesome. I haven't taken the survey yet. I plan to. But I have to do that. Yeah. So,
everyone, your families, your friends and neighbors.
Absolutely.
I've been talking it up.
There we go.
I have too. Yeah. I'm spreading the word, and I've sent it out to people.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
Oh, I just realized this is soda water. Just realized I'm drinking out of a bottle here. Soda water.
Hey, it's not in a brown paper bag, so it's all set.
I'll just put that to the side.
It's the holidays. So thank you. And I know, just so the commissioners, I don't, Holly, were you at the affordable housing? You were. Yeah. So I know, I thought
you were there.
Yeah, I was there. Glenn was there too, taking notes as well. And I got a chance to talk to him for a little while afterwards. So I thought it was pretty interesting. We'll see how that all plays out. I think, yeah.
Any highlights from that, Erin? Any good ideas? Any novel ideas?
Well, one of the things that I have to say, they mentioned Avon and the affordable housing project. They have an Avon across kind of from where the police station is on 44. You can't see it because I think, was it an old school, George, or something, or office building?
I forget. It's a reuse of an existing.
Yeah, it was either an office building or a
structure.
school or something. So it
Office.
sits
It was an office building.
office
It's like
building.
Avon
Okay.
Park South.
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh,
yeah.
well,
Really?
kind
Yes.
of, but I don't think it's in Avon Park South, but it's in that area, Bill, up on the ridge, like across from
Both
where
of
the police department is, I think.
There's actually a trail that goes underneath 44 right there, and then goes up, and the road goes up, and then there's like an office building. I think that's what you're talking about.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
They're turning that into an affordable housing project.
Nice.
Who's
Yeah.
they? Is it the town of Avon or a developer?
Well, I think it was a developer. Whoa.
So there was a so the three panelists were a woman from the Partnership for the Strong Communities. I mean, it's an advocacy for housing, but her role was to kind of talk about data, regional data, particularly Simsbury data, our percentage of burdened and our percentage of folks that pay over 30%, that kind of stuff. And there was a gentleman from I think it's called LISC. It's a nonprofit that participates in funding of a broad range of affordable housing from really low income to half market, half. He was really interesting. Talked a little bit about how difficult it is to cobble together all of the pieces of financing, particularly now with rates being high, and it's really difficult. And then I found it interesting that all the presentations kind of went together, because then the developer, who was Beacon Communities, and they were and are the developer of that project in Avon that we're talking about. And she's like, the most important thing to me is the cost of the land. If I can't get a discount or a break on the cost of the land, I can't make any project work. I thought that was quite interesting. And one of their main suggestions was, towns, in pointing the finger at Simsbury because we're talking about Simsbury, but towns can be helpful if they can identify perhaps land that they own for infill projects that they don't plan to use in the future, or they got off the tax rolls or anything like that. So it might be down the road. May make some sense for us to just kind of look at what our inventory is. What parcels does the town of Simsbury own that can be constructed on? I mean, it's probably not that many, but anyway, just generally that helps. Is the cost of the land is really impeding a lot of these projects.
In fact, one of the presenters took a swipe at Simsbury because we purchased Meadowwoods with the intention of turning it into open space. And he felt that we should have reserved some portion of that land for affordable housing.
Or could have to, I mean, he did say that.
There could have, yeah.
Yeah, there could have.
However, I mean, we didn't have a lot of time to give it much thought. We had to act very quickly to get that on.
Sure, sure. And I think his point is that we know that the town of Simsbury prioritizes open space planning, good open space and conservation and all that. And I think his point was that, if we want to elevate the question of affordability, that we should think of those kinds of things at the same time.
Yeah.
So if we had, you had a 500-acre parcel, could we have put a little 30-acre piece that had some affordable housing? That's all. I think that was his point.
You're right. I agree. That's what I took away from it. So
yeah.
I thought it was pretty well attended. There were
that Meadowwood thing was kind of crazy because there is a separate parcel of land within that 300 acres or whatever it was, that the town advertised for recreation, I think, right? Reserved the right to make playing fields or something.
You mean active recreation, right, Bill?
Yeah, active. Yeah. And the idea of affordable housing was brought up because Meadowwood had an element of affordable housing in it, and
sure did, the original, right?
I think the general consensus, well, obviously the town and the townspeople spent, $2.5 million of our money to preserve that open space. So yeah, I think you're right, George. Right now, I think the town is not the town capital T, but townspeople have prioritized open space over affordable housing.
Yeah.
In all fairness, this was the first time we had this presented to us. Months after the referendum.
So I think that's, and I think that's kind of the point of the POCD update, is to just look a little bit closer at this housing element and really try to figure out if there are things that we can proactively do that are meaningful and actionable, and that's part of the reason we're doing it.
I think one of the things that was interesting was it the one in Windsor Locks, and they put up what people's professions were that were in the affordable housing.
Yeah, it was in the Windsor Locks. I think it was a rehab of, I think, one of those older factories.
Yeah, and it was like a medical student intern, a resident, a police officer, a teacher. I mean, it was really interesting because I think there's a real bias or real misunderstanding of who and why people need affordable housing at certain times. And so I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, all three panelists talked a lot about dispelling myths.
Yeah.
Of affordability. So at the Simsbury TV, or Simsbury Public Television, that is available. That session, it was taped and it was taped live, so I think you can go and find it. And perhaps maybe I'll go find it and I'll send you the link. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, so that is viewable and rewatchable.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting. Yeah. And you're right, Holly. To me, it was like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. I didn't know we could do that, or that's an interesting idea, because that's not my area of expertise necessarily. So I think it opened a conversation. And from what I heard from people there, I think there might be people in the town that are looking or will try to, find a way to do a project maybe. So who knows? Well, I think it'll take a while, but I like that idea, George. Should we be taking a look as we're doing the POCD? Are there parcels that we could be taking a look at that, could start a conversation? It's something to think about.
Oh, one thing I'd like to mention is we also talked about how too many of the affordable housing projects, in fact, everything we've seen on our desk, is really for people making close to the high end, to 80% of the area mean. income, which is like over 90,000, which is what most people don't associate with affordable housing needs, because we have so many homes they can buy, and how difficult it is to see any proposals that actually serve people making half or 25% of the area median income, which we've never seen. But for me, one of the reasons I go to this is to network with other townspeople. And I talked with Cheryl Cook, who works at the Simsbury Housing Authority. Doesn't work there. She's on the board and has been for a long time on the Simsbury Housing Authority. And they really serve the low end, and they do it so well that most people don't even know they exist. And I've said this before, and I'm always going to say this. I really would like us to, as a town, try to see how we can. They've had a number of plans that didn't get funded, and I think of all the people that know how to turn, it's like food share. They say, we know how to turn 5 cents into a meal, how to turn the smallest amount of resources into truly affordable housing. And so I hope we bring their perspective into future plans in the town.
Sure.
Yeah, so if anybody, if you can get a chance to take a look at it, I think it's worth a look. So,
Madam Chair, may I just go back to something we were talking about a minute ago, and whether this is for you or George, on the survey that we talked about at the beginning, is that available on the town website? I had the link. I responded via the link that I received in a text, but can I direct other people to the town website?
Absolutely. It's on a front page head banner. Can't miss it.
Okay. Thanks.
yeah, thanks, Craig. Yeah,
That's a good, that's good.
that's what I've told people to do. I said, go to the website if you can't, so. All right. So we need to approve the regular meeting schedule for, I almost said fiscal year, for 1923. Oh my God, 2023.
It's a fairly straightforward calendar. I would just, note that one meeting in December, because that second meeting would fall on the 26th, and there's.
Now, George, in the past, I believe we haven't met that first meeting in August. But we can leave it there and cancel the meeting if there's no business.
Or you could take it off right now if you don't want to meet on that date and only have one meeting in August. This is your calendar.
So what do you think? What do you guys? Because I know typically, historically, we've done that. I think because of the summer and people's schedules. So
Yeah, I say we take one off the schedule.
Okay, and I think we took the second Tuesday, not the fourth, because I think by the fourth, people were starting to come back, and for school reasons. So I think we took that first one off.
So we're going to strike August 8th, the second Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I make a motion to approve the 2023 Planning Commission meeting schedule with the elimination of the August 8th, 2023 meeting.
I second. Oh, go ahead, Don. Yep.
Yeah,
Don
I'll second it. Thanks.
All right. All those in favor of the 2023 schedule as amended to take out that August 8th meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously. All right.
I just want to share briefly here something. I just went to the town website. And George, was it here on this banner?
No, go to the main page. You're on the public works page.
Where did I go? Where
you're on the public works page. Yeah, click Town of Simsbury.
Ah,
there you go. Right there. You can't miss it.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's prominent.
I don't know why. That's weird because I searched Town of Simsbury.
That's a
I
highway
clicked on this
department.
website. All right, my
Yeah,
mistake.
okay.
Okay, perfect. Stop share, Bill. Don't make any more mistakes.
No, but you know what though? That was good. That it's always good to try it out. But thank you for sharing. All right. George, anything else? Any correspondence? We
Don't
still
have
don't have the
anything.
Mylars on Dorset, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
And thank you for doing this virtually. We decided to do it virtually because we didn't have a lot of business. We figured it would be
Okay.
easier to do it virtually for this meeting, but we'll be
I
back.
almost went to the town hall,
Oh, no.
but I was looking at Joe Hollis's email again. You guys saw my email today, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I had missed that, and I hope nobody else did.
Well, it doesn't look like, well, unless
No, I
somebody
think-
went down there and got back real fast.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I hope not. So yeah, we thought this was the easiest way because there just wasn't a lot on the agenda. So,
Perfect.
right. So then our next meeting would be December, is it
13th.
December 13th? And is Glenn going to join us or no? He doesn't need to join us.
Don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know yet. I don't think so because I think he's essentially working
Okay.
on our stuff without anything to report. But
Right.
as we get closer, we'll figure that out.
Okay. Is there, George, anything else or anything from the commissioners?
I've got no other development project business for you yet. No.
Okay.
Anything in the wings, George? Any applications that might be coming in?
Yeah. I mean, one that'll we'll get to you for referral for sure. Is we met with the folks from Dorset Crossing. I don't think this is, I think I can disclose this. I think we've talked about it before, but they just went through a process of changing the land bay. If you remember that, we did that as part of the subdivision. You guys did it.
Yeah.
They are going to come back fairly quickly with an amendment to their approved plan to remove certain commercial elements and request to replace them with residential elements. And so that's a complicated PAD process that goes through the zoning commission, but requires a preliminary referral of the zoning commission or the planning commission and DRB and in the wetlands, and a second final referral. So you look at it twice and give comment.
Okay.
You probably haven't done one of those.
That's by design, right? Because
Yeah, that's by design. That's exactly by design.
PAD is, it's once it's set, it's supposed to be adhered to.
That's right. That's right.
It should be. It should take some work to make changes to it.
That's right. That's right. And I would just say additionally, depending on the zoning commission is obviously in the middle of the cannabis discussion that we had public hearing last night.
How did that go?
We had 12 speakers. There were about 30 people in the audience. So I don't know what our expectation was. And there was a lot of talk about what's going to be crowded and have a lot of people there. And so, I don't know whether, either side was disappointed so we had 12 speakers, some against, some in favor. But as I said, you had given a referral on that. If there are, noteworthy changes to the draft text, I suspect we would bring that back to you for additional review and you don't have to change your referral, but if the language changes, I think it makes sense to bring it back for you. You can make your own decision of whether you want to change your referral or what have you.
Did they leave the hearing open, George?
So yeah, they
Okay.
continue the public hearing. They continue to December 5. Again, they also, they extended the moratorium a couple of weeks ago through May, so they have a little bit of time.
Okay. I wasn't able to make it yesterday, unfortunately. Had intended to, but and I'll be
So,
there
yeah.
on the 5th.
So if you want to speak on the 5th, there's still availability to do that.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect.
Right.
Hey, George, I was able to find the link to the Simsbury Community TV piece on affordable housing.
Okay, good.
So I'll send it. I'll distribute that.
Oh, great.
yeah.
Thank you, Don.
Thanks.
Appreciate
thank
that.
you, Don. Appreciate that. So, well, I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You
Um,
too.
Thank you. And in case who knows what's going to happen on December 13th, but it's really been a good year. And I look forward to the next year with the POCD. I think there's lots of good stuff going on. And George, we're thankful.
You have a lot of work. You'll have a lot of work to do, and certainly in the spring.
But it's good work. I
Yes,
enjoyed it
yes.
when we did it 6-7 years ago. So, and thank you, George. You've just been a great addition
No, thank you.
to the town hall and you know, for us. So thank you for
Sure.
all you've done and stepped right in. So
My pleasure to serve.
yeah. All right. So without objection, I'm going to adjourn the meeting at 7:26.